When I was getting close to retiring at 51, everybody kept asking me the same question. But how do you know you're actually ready? They weren't asking about money. They weren't even really asking about fear. They were asking about identity. They were asking about the unknown that comes after you walk away from 30 plus years of being on all the time. So today, I'm going to talk about the 10 financial and emotional signs that tell you that you're ready to actually retire early. Not bulletproof, not perfect, just ready. Sign number one, you know your real annual cost of living. You don't guess, you don't hope, you don't use somebody else's number. You know your number down to the everyday stuff: groceries, health insurance, car maintenance, travel, home repairs, and even that treat yourself category. In fact, I know exactly how much I have budgeted for golf because I know how much I golf, how much it costs to golf, and how often I'm going to be golfing in retirement. And if you know what life actually costs you, you're already 100%, or I'm sorry, 80% ahead of most people. Most people don't know what their monthly subscriptions are on their Netflix account. Sign number two, you can handle a bad year without panic. A surprise bill, a recession, market dips. If you have the cash cushion or the flexibility to cover a rough year without getting into fear mode, you're probably a lot closer than you think. And those ups and downs are going to come. And I know that there are a lot of people. I have somebody I know that retired, and she told me that she took all of her money out after the tariff conversations dipped the market earlier this year. And so now she's in a spot where she locked in her losses even though the markets have come back. But if you could get past those and you could weather those storms, you're probably in a pretty good spot. Sign number three is your work doesn't define you anymore. And here's an emotional one. At some point, you stop needing your job to validate you. You stop needing the role, the meetings, the title, and the grind. You start feeling yourself shift into, I'm ready to live as myself, not just what other people need to see from me at work or other people's versions of me at work. And I'll tell you, that was a big one for me because I had a big job, I had an important job, and I had a lot of people that came to me to answer questions about how to live their life. And I had a conversation with a subscriber today, and one of the things he talked about was he loves service to people, but his job was creating an issue where he was in a context that wasn't functional for him to do it and actually limited him, not just his ability to do his job, but it limited his own growth as a person. And so retirement may be the answer for him. We actually talked about him starting a YouTube channel because when you start a YouTube channel, you're able to do the exact same things that he was doing, but you don't have the constraints of the context that you're working in. Sign number four is that you have a clear plan for healthcare. You know, if you're in the US, healthcare is one of the biggest early retirement stressors. And folks, I get it. And if you've priced the Affordable Care Act plans, if you understand your deductibles, and if you know your out-of-pocket max and it doesn't scare you, that's a sign of readiness. And even with changes in the plan and healthcare potentially getting more expensive, you could budget for that. You could manage that. And if you find yourself in that spot, you're probably a lot closer than you might be giving yourself credit for. Sign number five is that you've practiced living on your retirement budget. Before I retired, we started testing what retirement felt like financially for us. We had actually gone a few months and living out on the amount that we had put into our retirement budget just to see how it felt and to see if it was doable. And that was huge because that was one of the things that helped us determine that we can retire when we did. I think I've mentioned before that I was about 6 or 7 years perhaps from retiring when I actually retired, when I thought I was going to retire to actually when I retired. And part of that was because I thought I needed all this money. But as we stress tested our budget at different times, we realized we can make this work now. And so we did it. And I think there's probably a contingent of you out there that can do that too. Sign number six, and this is a big one. You're excited for your free time and you're not afraid of it. Some people retire and realize they don't know what to do with themselves. But if you're already dreaming about projects that you want to take, travel that you want to do, volunteering, a hobby, and time with your partner or just peace, then you're more or less emotionally ready because the idea is not retiring from something, but retiring to something. What's the life that you want to have? And it could be something as simple as being in control of your own time. I knew that I wanted to do something that was going to help make the world a better place. And I knew I was going to be limited in the place that I was. And so when I retired to finding bigger and better ways to impact the world. And I think between this YouTube channel, I think the volunteering, I think going to giving stuff to the food pantries and all the other things that I'm involved with, speaking at conferences, I think all of those things really help make the world better and fall in line with my personal mission statement to uplift the human condition. And that excitement that you have that, and my excitement for that was really a true sign that my identity was evolving. Sign number 7, and again, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna fight against this one, but sign number 7 is you've let go of your lifestyle flexing. This one is tough because if you're done trying to keep up with your coworkers, neighbors, and other people online, and if you're not buying things to feel successful, that emotional shift lowers your expenses and your stress. Now, I will tell you, I was never one to try to keep up with the Joneses. The reality is, I never tried to keep up with the Joneses because I couldn't afford it. But were there times when I bought things that I probably shouldn't have bought or things that didn't necessarily meet my needs of utility, but maybe because they look better or they put me in a different place? Sure. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm perfect, but there's a lot of people that I know that they go out and they buy expensive stuff just so they can look like they're important. And the reality is once that changes, then everything else changes. And I think I've mentioned to you, I had this nice Audi. I had this 3-story condo or a townhouse. Sold that, moved to a lower cost of living place, bought reasonable cars. And here we are now sitting back and I'm just turned 54 yesterday and I'm retired. What more can I say? But once you make that change, other things start to snowball. Sign number 8, and I know this doesn't necessarily fall for everybody, but just bear with me, is that your partner or your family is on the same page. Early retirement affects everybody around you. Just because you're happy to retire doesn't mean everybody else is happy for you, and other people are going to be affected. If you've had the hard conversations, roles, routines, boundaries, and expectations, then you're in good shape and you're probably ready now. Sign number 9 is you have a mission or a direction. You don't need a full plan, but you need a spark. You need a mission, a purpose, and a direction. For me, it was serving, creating, and giving back. I mean, that's really what I do, uplifting the human condition in any way that I can. For others, it might be health, family, or rest. It's not up to you to follow my direction. It's up for you to find the direction that you want your life to go in. But if something inside of you is pulling you forward, that's a big sign. Don't hold yourself back arbitrarily if other things are telling you this is what you need to do. You need to do what the universe is telling you to do. Sign number 10, you can imagine yourself retired without fear. And this is the moment. If you could picture yourself waking up on a Tuesday morning with no meetings, no emails, no deadlines, and your body doesn't tighten with anxiety, you might be more ready than you think. If even 5 of these things hit home for you, you're way closer to retirement than most people realize. So let me know in the comments, which sign hit you the hardest today? And if you want more real stories about early retirement, identity, and financial independence, make sure that you subscribe. And remember, it's never my expectation that everybody retire early, but it is my expectation that you live your best life. So I'll see you in the next video. But on that note, have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.